gamers, and welcome to episode 372 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for May 7th, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
There's a lot going on this week, Dan. But I know it's this rainy weekend that we got here. Rain couple of days ain't cool, man. You're going from like nice, warm 70 degrees, almost 80 degrees sometimes, weather to, I don't know what it is, but I know my tits are freaking hard, so I know it's pretty cold.
It's like somewhere in the 50s.
Yeah. So, and Mother's Day weekend, so happy Mother's Day to all the women out there, and or mothers. I say this woman. Well, some people, or people who act like mothers, you know. Some people who do both jobs, maybe. The fathers out there who are mothers and fathers, or, you know, just like on Father's Day, I always say that, like mothers who do both jobs also. But yeah. Well, be belated by the time you hear this, but yeah, but happy Mother's Day. All right. But, and then you have this week, you know, the big thing, the leak, the Supreme Justices with the Roe versus Wade. That's huge.
Somebody's a snitch, Dominic.
Yeah, somebody did it. But thing is, I probably most likely I'm on more of the pro-choice side than the pro-life side. But people who are pro-choice might not agree with my views that I think it should be extended to when we can choose to abort the fetus, because I think it should be until they're at least like 3 to 4 years old, until you feel like, you don't want this kid no more, because maybe the kid
That's what firehouses are for.
Might be ugly, and you're like, this is not going to work out. This is not going to be good.
Ugly kid, Dominic.
Or it might be like, you know, the Omen, and it's a demon inside. What age was it when they found out it was a demon inside? Because then you got to, I don't want this kid anymore. We have to get rid of it. It'll be done humanely, you know.
You're right. It's probably better than handing them over to the Catholic Church, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so I think that's what I want. I want that to be ratified, to be like, hey, look, even after it's technically born, you know, let's say, maybe we find out it's left-handed. You know, when do you usually find out when the right hand, left hand, maybe like 4, maybe. You think 4 is a good thing? Probably
once they start writing. So
yeah, so then you'd be like, oh no, I don't.
4.
They don't want this evil baby who's left-handed. It's like, no, we got to go.
Who's going to shop at the leftatorium, Dominic?
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know that place is still open.
Okay, keep Ned Flanders in business.
So I think so. Yeah, I'll be out there picketing, but I'll be having a sign like that. I'll probably just one of me out there, like, it's like, hey, yes, it's a ratify it.
Yep, you and Carmen's mom. But she also just misunderstood.
Yeah, she just said she start. Well, what'd she say? Adoption. Was it adoption? Yeah, yeah. She thought it was adoption. All right. So what is it? Let's go into sports, I guess. Orioles, they've been doing okay. They won 10 games so far.
Oh.
What is it? 10-16, I think, or something along those lines. So yeah, they're kind of middle of the pack. They didn't play last night because of the rain.
Yeah.
And thing is, they're not the worst team, because the worst team, I believe, unless Cincinnati won last night, they have only won 3 games so far this season. And the Nats are actually behind the Orioles in wins.
Oh, wow.
They only won 9 games. And so it's like, oh, wow, the Orioles actually have more wins than the Nats. I wonder when last time that has happened. I mean, well, actually, it's been probably happened like early in the year. It's probably happened, but then by then, like, by the time it gets to the end of the year, they'll be like probably like 20 to 30 games ahead as far as wins. Yeah. But yeah, the Orioles, they don't look horrible. Like they're not good or anything, but they're also not as bad as they were the last 3-4 years, maybe. Mm-hmm. So they're not that horrible. Like at least the pitching seems better, and the bats seem to be coming more alive. But I think that's happening in all the MLB too. Like I think the bats are coming more alive for everybody. So, and yeah, I guess, and maybe the park probably helped out too with some of the long balls. So I see some balls get out there into that gap area. You know, it's good. Like when it hits the wall, and well, if the Orioles get a hit, it hits the wall or something, because now you might can get a double out there, or in rare occasions a triple. But yeah, it's been fun like watching some of these games I've been seeing. So I was like, yeah, this team is actually I actually enjoy watching. Until it'll probably get middle of the season, then I'll be like, oh man, we just suck, and then I'll just be watching what else is there? WNBA. I watch WNBA. Oh, that starts. I think that still starts today.
Oh,
and
nice.
I know they had some things for Brittany Griner, like they support her. I'm just like, damn, I forgot she's still over there, isn't she?
Yeah, I saw something about like her status got changed or something. So now they're moving on, trying to get her back like more solidly because like it wasn't a crime.
We're gonna have to do a trade. We gotta do a trade. Like we trade these people like on the bridge, like in that Tom Hanks movie that came out years ago. We have to trade a prisoner or somebody. Have like a Russian prisoner.
I feel like we don't have anybody to trade with him.
That's what I'm saying. Do we have anybody? I mean, it's probably somebody we don't know.
Gonna send Ovechkin.
Yeah, they're gonna trade Ovechkin. That's what they're gonna do. Hell, I don't even know. Yeah, the playoffs start for hockey too. Actually, let me see. Is Ovi even playing? I already got injured, but I don't know what his injury was. Alexander Ovechkin. Oh man, I hit the wrong thing. I put Ovechkin Putin by accident, so you know that's not good. All right. Okay, Alex Ovechkin on losing game 2, 5-1. Shit happens. Move on. That's what he said. Oh, okay, maybe he did play. Yeah, maybe he did play. Darn, I didn't even know the Caps played yet. I didn't even know they played. What is the play? Let me see what is going on in hockey. Man, have been on this website since last year? Since they were in it. All right. So the Capitals are tied 1-1 against the Florida Panthers. And so they won 1. So that's good. What else we got here? We got your Tampa Bay Lightning. They're losing 2-1 to Toronto. Daniel, they might not, because they won 2 years in a row. They might not do it this year, Daniel.
Can't get that three-peat.
Yeah. What else we got here? We got Pittsburgh tied 1-1 against New York. The Bruins are down against Carolina. Come on, Boston. Can't be down against a Carolina.
What
you got Edmonton being LA.
The Carolina team.
What'd you say?
What is the Carolina team?
I think it's the Hurricanes.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, the Hurricanes. All right.
Is there a disaster of a team?
You got the St. Louis Blues losing to Minnesota. That should happen. You got Colorado beating, I don't know, this looks like a saber-toothed tiger. The Predators. Where's the Predators at? Nashville. Yeah, they should beat them. Can't have no Nashville. Like, in some damn hockey game. And Dallas and Calgary are tied. Calgary better get on that. All right. So that's your Stanley Cup playoffs. So I know we got a lot of hockey fans who listen to the podcast. All right, so
lost them years ago, Dominic.
Yeah. Basketball. What's going on there? Everybody's tied 1-1. Well, at least one. Not everybody's tied 1-1, but it's like nobody's going to get swept. Put it like that. There's these 2-1. Yeah, it's 2-1 or 1-1 because as of right now, because some people haven't played their third game yet. But yeah, so there will be no sweeps that are happening. I know for Philadelphia, Embiid is back. He had a orbital fracture. That's what his problem. So he was really sensitive to light and stuff too. So that's why there was no timetable because they didn't know how he was going to feel. But he got a mask on and he did okay. Like he didn't play great, but hey, Miami didn't play great either. Like they were pretty bad. So they ran away with it at the end, the Sixers, but like it was like a bad shooting night for both teams because it was low scoring compared to today's NBA. It was very low scoring. If this was back in the 90s, hey, it would have been pretty good. It would have been pretty good, or the early 2000s. But yeah, what else? I think that's pretty much it in sports. Anything else happen? I don't watch golf. I don't know. There's some small tennis match tournaments going on. Not the big one. I don't. Lacrosse is happening. Actually, I don't know if Maryland won, but I know they were beating Hopkins and like was it the semifinals, was it? Or the quarterfinals? One of it. Let me see. I'm actually curious about that. The men's lacrosse, number 1 Maryland, because they're undefeated. They haven't lost a game, Maryland.
Oh, wow.
And the men's lacrosse cruises to 16-11 win against John Hopkins. Okay. So, what my other women's lacrosse team is doing. I always find it weird because they don't wear helmets. I'm guessing nobody gets hit in the head. Like, I never got that. Because I'm like, wait a minute. I mean, in the men's, you're not supposed to hit the head either. But why do they get to be... Like, how do the women play that they don't hit each other in the head like that?
They're ladies, Dominic. They're delicate, I guess.
I'm just glad they're not wearing skirts anymore. I always thought it was weird. I mean, I know some people would probably be like, oh, they like that because they're pervs. But I always found that weird. Like, when I found out, like, women basketball players used to wear skirts, it's like, that's fucking weird. Why are you wearing a skirt? It's like...
So you can see on the old standard definition televisions that they were women. That was the only way.
They're 16-1. The women's lacrosse team. I don't know where they at in the tournament or anything, but they're good. I know that. So, hey, go them. All right. So, any wrestling news? Anything big happening?
Nothing big that's happening right now, no.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get more into wrestling stuff because we got the AEW game stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
The video game. All right. So we're going to skip what we've been watching because Daniel hasn't watched Moon Knight yet, even though he's supposed to be a big Marvel fan. He didn't even see Doctor Strange yet.
No.
It's freaking ridiculous. Yeah. At least I saw some of it bootleg.
I feel like I've seen a decent amount of it on Twitter, unfortunately.
On Twitter? Oh, okay.
There have been so many clips people have been posting on there.
But I just, the bootleg copy I was looking at, I just want to see what the quality was. It was actually okay. It was actually okay. But I don't know. I'm trying to go see it today, but if I don't see it today, I don't care. I'm watching the bootleg, so I don't give a fuck. But I'm hearing okay stuff from it. Not like it's super great, but I'm hearing like mixed. Like some people really liked it, and some people said it was the dialogue's not so good. But some people really like Sam Raimi. They're big Sam Raimi fans. Which I don't know. I don't know what his style is. I mean, I see some of his movies other than Spider-Man. He did Frighteners, right?
That sounds right.
That's probably my favorite Sam Raimi movie. Well, I guess Spider-Man 2 is, but then Frighteners.
Yeah.
Let me see. Frighteners. No, it's Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson.
No, well, never mind then. I
don't like a single Sam Raimi.
Yeah, I only like Spider-Man 2. Because I didn't watch Evil Dead. I don't know any other Sam Raimi movies.
I don't either.
Any good ones anyway. Was it what he did? Like, was that Evil Dead? Was that the new Evil Dead he did? Yeah. No. Wait a minute. Did he do the new Evil Dead?
I thought he like EP'd it or something.
He did something with it. Yeah. I knew I saw his name attached in some way. I'm trying to think. I'm looking at all the movies he's done. He did Oz. Oz was his movie?
Oh, yeah. He did Oz Great and the Powerful. The one with James Franco, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
I mean, it wasn't horrible, but I don't remember it either, though. And I watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd seen none of these. Don't Breathe. I didn't see that. That's 2016. The Quick and the Dead. And wow, they had some famous people in that one. It was Leonardo DiCaprio, Sharon Stone, Russell Crowe, Gene Hackman.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I've definitely heard about that though.
58% on Rotten Tomatoes. The GIF. That actually, I think I actually seen that one. I did not know Sam Raimi did that movie.
That's the one with the guy from Sonic, right? Where he's like got the box and if you press the button, it kills a random person or something.
The person from Sonic?
No,
I mean, he must be.
That's not.
I was about to say.
Trying to think what that movie's called.
2022. Oh, that's coming out later this year.
You can't release two movies in the same year.
No, it came out this year, March 18th. I don't remember it. I remember seeing the trailer for it. I didn't know it came out. But why his name is not attached to this. Why is this up here? I hate when Google do that. I mean, unless he Is he a producer or something on it?
He's a producer on it.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, what has he got going on?
Did he do Jungle Book? No. Was he a producer on that too?
Let's see. I hate the way IMDb is now. Makes it so hard to find things. Jungle Book. I am getting nothing for Jungle Book when I search on here.
Was he a producer of the Flintstones? Well, I don't know why. Okay, sorry. Because
only Viva Rock Vegas or whatever. Only the sequel.
Yeah, I think at the point where they're just putting up movies. Because I see Tom Cop. And I don't see no name to that. All right, whatever. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think Sam Raimi's just a cult thing, man. Honestly. Yeah. I just hope I get to think now. Just like, it's not like he's. I mean, not that he's a bad director. It's just that it's not. When people say like, "Oh, yeah, I love Sam Raimi," now that I finally look at his list of movies, I'm thinking like, "Yeah, these movies ain't really big." I only hear you talk about them.
Definitely niche.
Yeah,
it's people that were super into Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness and all those.
Yeah, that's what I have to say. I was like, a lot of these movies I really watched. Darkman, I remember that movie. I didn't. Is that really
the one with Liam Neeson?
Yeah,
I didn't realize he did that one.
And Danny Elfman did the music. Gotta love Danny Elfman. All right. So where we at here? So we're going to what we've been playing. So I'll go ahead because we played a game that was the same. Trek to Yomi. We'll talk about that. All right. So I beat Persona 5 finally. Finally was over. And I'm so glad the ending wasn't too long, like the post dialogue and all this stuff saying goodbyes. It was sad, but it was pretty cool too. I wonder, are they going to do any other games with these same players from Persona 5? Because people really love these guys. Because I hear more about these characters from Persona series more than any other one. And I think a lot of people like this as their favorite, it seems like. I don't know if that's like a consensus thing. I know from a guy who I used to work with who's a big fan of the series, he did like Persona 5 the best of them. So I was like, oh, okay. So that's good that they're actually getting better. It's not like, oh, this one's better than this one, like, later ones that they actually keep it going.
Go back to Persona 4, the original.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, yeah. I mean, I'm sure they are, but I wonder, like, what's the consensus of Persona fans, like, with the Persona 5? Or maybe Persona 5 just got to more people. Maybe they got, because, hey, I played it, and that's the first and only one I ever played. I got Persona 4, because it's on PC now, and I just reminded myself just right now that I have that game, that I really should go play that and try it out. But anyway, yeah, the game overall was good, man. I mean, this was a Persona game, and with some elements of Dynasty Warriors. Just elements. It's like, it's not really that game. So that's why I like how unique it is. That I really feel like I just played like another chapter in the Persona 5 series. Also, I played Halo Firefight while I was doing the podcast because I heard about we talked about the update they were having. Did we talk about that?
I thought we did. Okay,
maybe we did. I mean, I know I read it. I forget we talked about it, but they had the update where in Firefight you can get the what they called. I'm about to call them locusts. The flood. The flood can be in Firefight now. Like they have like a mode where there's a whole bunch of flood just come after you instead of just the Covenant guys. Or you can get a mix. I think you can mix them up. I didn't realize the customization they added to this. Like you can do so much in Firefight, and to make it like your own game, you can add like, hey, you use these type of guns, or you get infinite ammo, infinite health, or just infinite lives. You still die, but infinite lives. You can do a whole lot of shit in that game. And I was just playing that by myself. I don't know if they have a playlist. They used to have a playlist where you could just join random people. I think they still do. They might still do. I'm not sure. But most of the games, they have to invite people. You have to just invite friends to play with you. Yeah. That matter. I'm hoping that in Halo Infinite, they'll get to a point where when they do add freaking co-ops, to the game, you can actually be with random people, like just join people. But I don't know when the hell that's going to happen. But yeah, but that was cool. It was fun playing Firefight because that was one of the things I missed out on the first Firefight and Halo ODSTs because all I could do was play by myself, and I couldn't really play with anybody. And then they had these customization options, so I didn't last long because Firefight was pretty hard back then. But now I just put it on like, I get infinite lives. Like I can still get shot up and die, but at least I don't have to start all over again on a match. I just come back,
right?
And they give you computer mates. That's new. They gave me like 2 Covenant guys, 2 elites with me. I don't know. Maybe I get 3 to make it 4, but I'm not sure unless they die. Unless the other one just dies. I don't know what the fuck it is because they do end up dying pretty quick. That's the only bad thing. I haven't looked at the options to see like can I make my guys last longer, like to give them more health or something. Because I was hoping that they had infinite lives too, but they don't. I know just being by myself, and I'm wondering if they will be there if I had other people with me. Maybe they will be there anyway. I don't know. But it was nice to see I had some people there, and they were helping a bit until things got really hairy. But yeah, it was cool playing that. And some VR games I played. I played a new game called The Tale of Onogoro. It is a Japanese game, more of a puzzle-ish. I don't even know what to say RPG. I'm still at the very, very beginning, so I'm still learning it. But something happened. This girl or woman, I don't know. She just, you know how these animes are. She could, most likely, you know what? She probably is hundreds of years old because she is some kind of mystical being or something. And because whoever captured her, they can't kill her. But because they were cut off, they cut off her arm and something. You don't see this. You just hear it. Like, because that's the credits roll in the beginning. So when I do see her, she has like a mechanical arm and a mechanical leg because of what the guy or whatever he is did this to her. But I don't know. I still don't understand the story, but she knows that I'm from another world. I'm guessing that's probably like the world I live in now or something. You know, try to make it like, hey, yes, this is really you. And she's attached to the stone. He attached her to the stone because it would keep her locked away, and she won't be able to stop him for whatever the hell he's doing. So yeah, I'm still at the very beginning, so where I don't know what the fuck is going on. And I probably, you know what? If there is like a really Japanese anime game, I probably would never know what the fuck is going on. But the puzzles, is really, you're using her. Like you got these guns that they are like a gravity type of gun or something, and you can pick up her stone, and you can move her to places to open doors, and also you can suck up energy for somewhere to unlock rooms. So I know it's gonna be a lot of puzzles with this. And it looks cool. It looks like I'm really like in some type of anime room. Yeah. And it's weird seeing this girl like, you know, in front of me, this small skinny Japanese girl, like my height or whatever, just next to me, and I was like, oh, this looks really weird. But yeah, but it's so far it's interesting. Like I said, I'm just at the very beginning part of it. Like I recorded what I played, and that's all I played of it was what I recorded. So it's not that long. But because I wanted to test it out to see how it was, and yeah, it seems okay. Like I want to try it out more to see how it is. I hope it's like maybe it's like doing like some Zelda like puzzles or something like this in 3D. Which, you know, that's what I want. I want a game that's like a Zelda where you go into dungeons and, you know, just like some of the games you probably tried out, play with the sword and shield and you just block and stuff. Simple, but you have those puzzles that really keep you going. That'll be neat if they make a game like that. Just copy, you just copy Zelda and just make it like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, or do like a Tunic. Do Tunic VR. Do Tunic VR, something like that. It's, I play a little bit more Tentacular. This time I did a little sandbox thing. It's not really a sandbox mode, but you can go back in the city and just mess around with stuff. And that's what I was like, kind of destroying the city. But there's no building destruction, though. That's what's bad about it. But I do like how you can just throw the people around. It's like, but they don't die or nothing. They just, like, if you throw them in the water, they'll just have little floaties. Like, they're floating up. Or if you throw them far enough, you just won't see them no more. Like, I just throw them so far I can't see. But I like I can just toss them around and stuff like that. I was trying to juggle them. I was trying to juggle some people. I think
they're like, this is fine. This is fine.
And that was like playing catch. Like I was just throwing it to one tentacle and try to catch the person. Yeah.
And then they go flying off screen.
it's pretty funny doing that stuff. Oh yeah, it's cute. That game's all right. And I played some more Notary games, and I actually got to the part where you actually meet the other people.
Oh, okay.
That's in the game. So we try to figure out what's going on. Then we see that what we have to do to survive. One guy tried to do something by himself, like he held somebody hostage and tried to do it on his own, but then he ended up getting killed because he didn't follow the rules right. And we was like, oh, well, we know not to do what he did. And so I'm just at that part. So yeah, it's intriguing. Like I might finish it. All depends. Because right now I'm more leaning towards like Life is Strange, going back to the remastered ones. Mm-hmm. And also I'm definitely starting Trails of Cold Steel 4. Like I'm gonna start that and finish that. If I can finish the series. And that new game should be coming up too. Well, newish. The remake of the game I played on the PSP. That game, nice. Which I don't know. I mean, it all depends the changes they done with it. I think I might go back to it. I wouldn't mind going back to it to see it. All right, so now we can talk about Trek to Yomi. So I thought this game is pretty adequate. It's like I like the presentation of it. I like the black and white style, the old like Japanese samurai type of show. What's it called? What's the
like Kurosawa?
Kurosawa. Yeah, Kurosawa. That's the most famous one, right?
Yeah, it's the most famous like director in that style.
Okay, not the director. What's the movie called?
Oh, I have no idea.
I forgot. But yeah, it has that look.
Seven Samurais. That's the one I think I always hear.
Okay, the one I always hear is the one that's like Hamlet.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's another one that like I instantly recognize. The Bad Sleep Well.
That's the it wasn't that day. It was like one word. Washamon. Maybe let me see. Washamon.
I think that's the movie that like kind of started the Quentin Tarantino-esque style of like starting at the end and then working its way back. I think that's what that's famous for. Yojimbo?
No. Famous Japanese movies. You'll probably see a lot of Godzilla.
Throne of Blood.
Famous old Godzilla movies. I'm seeing a lot of freaking shit in color. Okay. Washamon. Seven Samurai. Maybe it was Washamon. I just don't. It just don't look like it. Oh. Man. Fuck. Well, maybe it was a horrible movie. Maybe it was a horrible movie then.
You just gotta go back and watch them all. Find out.
Well, anyway, yeah. It has that look, but the gameplay is pretty well so far. I'm on the very, very beginning, but it seems pretty tedious to me. Mm-hmm. That I'm basically just timing when to counter and strike. Yeah. And hell, I forgot I didn't even use the Y button, which is like the heavy hit
attack. Yeah,
yeah. Because I was like, oh yeah, there is another button.
It felt so unresponsive to me. Like I don't know. I don't think you can do a heavy attack as a counter attack, and I find myself basically only counter attacking.
Oh, I think I did. It killed on one hit. Like I countered and then I hit the Y button and it kills it on one hit.
Then I feel like it's even more unresponsive than I thought it was, because I definitely was like trying and it was, I don't know, it's weird.
But but it just seems like if that's all that is, it could get old pretty fast unless there's a good story behind it. That's the only thing I think can really carry it. And or
which
if you just
also seems pretty generic so far. What I played.
Yeah, so that's a shame.
Yeah,
but it's free on Game Pass, and I don't know how much it costs though. If you wanted to buy it,
it's $20, which seems like a fair price for a game like this, I guess. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't feel like a top tier game, but it feels competently made, and I'm sure there are some people that would enjoy this style thing, but I'm with you. Like it already is feeling a little tedious. I'm just a little bit past where you are. And it's very much like the environments are boring. There's nothing really happening in them. So I'm just like trying to run through them to get to the next battle. And then I get to that and I'm like, okay, I got to do this whole blocking thing and then parry. Basically that's what I feel like the combat is almost like the Assassin's Creed 2 style thing where it's like, okay, I'm just going to stand here waiting to parry and then I'll hit you because I'm not going to be proactive about trying to hit you because you're just going to be able to slash me while I'm like winding up or whatever.
Every time I try to do that, they slash me. So I'll just wait.
Yeah, and you'll see, maybe 5 minutes from where you are, you'll start to see like faster enemies too. And I'm also seeing like armored enemies. So you have to do the piercing move instead of, the slashing moves and stuff like that. So, I mean, the combat's definitely going to evolve. Like I saw in the trailer, somebody using the roll a little more too. But I just don't know if it's going to evolve in a way that's going to make it more interesting to me necessarily. It seems like it's just going to be more of that kind of deliberate stuff, which in a way is like, it's kind of interesting because it's almost puzzle solvy. But at the same time, if I don't feel like my controls are as responsive as I want them to be, I start to blame the game more than I start to blame myself. When something's tight and feels good, it's like, okay, I messed up there. But when it's a little sloppier, like this game kind of feels, it's like, what? You cheated me. What's going on here?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I always feel like I pressed the counter the same place, and how is it that it did not block?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I was thinking like, what's going on? Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, I definitely feel how you feel. Like the game. Yeah, it really feels like it's the game and not you. Like I wish it was more fluid. And I mean, it seemed like it's like this game looked like it has potential to be something good, and now it just turned to be okay. It's okay.
It's not awful, but it's also not something that I'm like. I'm not even feeling like most times I'm like, okay, I started this game, I want to see it through to the end. This one I'm kind of like, nah. If I dipped out on this at some point, that'd be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Well, all right then. So I guess that's it, and I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. And we're flashbacking to 2012, 10 years ago. We had these games come out. We got Fable Heroes, the best Fable game to ever been released on Xbox for
the Xbox Journey.
Oh, actually, this is not... No, this is actually better than the Xbox Connect game.
Is it?
Yes. This is just the arcade game where you played as these fucking retarded looking me's, and I don't know what the hell you do actually. So I think you hack and slash and do stuff.
Yeah, it was like I don't know, platformy co-op game kind of thing.
Yeah. Let's see. The reviews probably were really great for this. 55 on Metacritic. I think that's a little too high, probably, but there you go. And it was done by Lionhead. They just gave up. Or was Bishop Call wasn't there anymore?
Was Microsoft.
Peter Molyneux wasn't there anymore. That's why it was bad.
Maybe.
Yeah, the lead designer was Ted Timmons. Timmons. Blame him.
He's not doing a good job.
Blame him. Hope he's not there anymore. Sorry, stop. All right. Here's Destructoid he said. They gave it a 3.5 out of 10, saying if it was even slightly exciting to play, all of his issues could be overlooked in a favor of compatibility to provide simple cooperative family entertainment. Unfortunately, it is not. Yeah, I don't think I even played the demo for this. I think I saw it and I was like, man, this looks stupid.
I think it might have been the same for me, especially because I liked Fable so much, and then they just started to put out trash with its name on it.
Just look at it. It's like I don't see anything Fable about it. I mean, I just look at the cover. I didn't even look at the game yet.
The characters are vaguely Fable-like in puppet form, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So what we got here? I don't know. Do I even want to mention this game? Nexus
I
with the Z.
I remember it, but I don't remember it being a big thing. I mean, the notable thing, I guess, it was developed by Ilphonic, who are the ones that make, the Friday the 13th and Predator games now.
Oh, yes.
Those asynchronous ones.
No, I mean, the scores look familiar to those games. The scores that they got, Metacritic 54. How much is Friday the 13th? Probably a little bit better.
I'd say a little bit better.
But then again, look, GameSpot, I did give it an 8.8. At 8, so everybody else must have just been bad scores.
I don't think I expected the scores for Friday the 13th to be as bad as they are here. 61, 61, 53 for the Xbox One version, and 69, nice, for the Switch. And
that's
How does the Switch have the highest score?
Whatever year that game came out, that is by the year, game of the year from one of my friends. So
yeah.
There you go.
2017.
Actually, when did it come free for Xbox? Whatever year that was.
Probably 2018.
Yeah. But yeah, GameSpot, I mean, they got to get paid off, right? GameSpot and IGN? They must have paid them off.
They're just confused.
All right, so what else we have? We got Port Royale 3, Pirates and Merchants. I believe that is a strategy game. A pirate strategy game.
Yeah, it is.
And because I've seen it for a bit, I don't need to see the reception here. They don't have the Metacritic score up here, but they said Midlife Gamer gave it a 6 out of 10. I don't even know who they are. GameSpot gave it a 5 out of 10. Okay, these are not good scores for this game, so maybe don't look at this one. I don't know. How did Port Royale 2 do? That did better. That had 75 out of 100 on Metacritic.
Wow, that's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, so just stick with that one, everybody.
Downhill. Unless
there's a 4. If there's a 4 out, that probably is terrible
4
too.
4's got 80s.
All right, so where we at?
Star.
Wait a minute, is it really a 4?
No, I didn't look it up. There might be.
But, okay, Starhawk. Yes, this was one of those exclusive games for PS3. I was sort of looking forward to it. I was curious about it. How it kind of, it was like a Warhawk successor thing, but it's on more boots on the ground than flying. But the reception wasn't like super great. It was all right, even though IGN gave it a high score. They gave it a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
But Game Informer gave it a 7.5 out of 10, which is not bad. But you talking about 9 out of 10? You talking about like a great game, Yeah. It's got a 77 on Metacritic. But let's see the game. Yeah, why didn't it do well? I wonder. Praises include the multiplayer component of the game, which was regarded by some reviewers as the best multiplayer on the PlayStation 3. Criticism were leveled at the game's weak story and uninteresting characters. All right. It says the most notable change from Warhawk is the addition of single-player story mode, which was intended to be included in Warhawk, but was eventually removed. The gameplay is similar to Warhawk. A new system called Build and Battle allows players to build structures such as bunkers and defenses and armories in the midst of the battle, giving the game a real-time strategy feel while remaining a third-person shooter. The game includes flying mechs called Hawks, and a player respawns into into landing craft, which they can steer with a limited range to reach the battlefield. I mean, yeah, like looking at it, I saw some of the gameplay. I mean, it seemed like it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like an okay game. So I guess it's probably really have some more similarities to Warhawk, just, somewhat better, I guess. I don't know. But oh well, I guess that's the end of the. I didn't hear anything about Warhawk or anything happening.
No.
I guess it's the end of the franchise.
Space Hawk. Haven't moved on to that yet.
Space Hawk, yeah. All right. So where I'm at here, I am at Tomb Raider. Oh no, I said Tomb Raider.
I've read that the same way the first time I read it.
Tomb of the Lost Queen. Okay, it's maybe it's better Tomb Raider. Oh, this is Nancy Drew.
Yeah.
Why didn't you put Nancy Drew in the title on the damn Wikipedia? Yeah, if you like those Nancy Drew games, there's been quite a few of them. I never played them.
Yeah. They seem all right, as far as like those point and click.
Look on the box, it says her. I'm not supposed to play it, Daniel.
Yeah, that's
What's
true.
the her? What the her
It's not
mean?
intended for you.
Yeah, I can't read it. That it's too small in this font here. I don't know if that's a company name or what.
It's got to be from the design aesthetic of the
No, I think they're just being genderless. They're saying only people
only her can play.
Yeah, can play
Nancy
this
Drew
game.
games. Got it.
All right, but I guess 60 years ago, a violent storm uncovered an ancient tomb in the desert outside Cairo. A British expedition set off in hope of finally finding Egypt's legendary lost queen. The expedition never returned. The explorers were lost and presumed dead. In the present day, Nancy Drew joins leading archaeologists as they unearth what they presume to be the tomb where the British explorers were lost. The site is rumored to be cursed due to an increase in suspicious accidents. The site's lead archaeologist, Professor. Okay, I might be spoiling it. Let me just stop right there. So yeah, honestly, Nancy Drew, because is she like an older woman now? Because that little silhouette of her, I always thought of like a little girl for some reason.
Yeah, she's like a late teens, early 20s, maybe. I think.
Oh, she's 18 years old. Jesus, I'm thinking it's really like a little. I thought it was like.
Yeah, no, she's not a child anymore.
Like she in middle school or something. Like that Cam Jansen book I used to read when I was like third grade. It was like, you ever read that book?
I think so, yeah.
It's the one with the girl, she has a photographic memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the female Encyclopedia Brown.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what she was. I thought that's what Nancy Drew was. Like she was just like the better version of that. Well, but technically she is, but she's actually a woman. I thought she was.
Well, I think in some of the stories she's younger, but in these games they definitely portray her as.
Or Harriet the Spy or something. I thought it was something like that.
Because like they did the Nancy Drew movie with not Julia Roberts, whatever Roberts. Yeah, her niece.
So that is it for 2012. Not much really came up this week. And 2002 is pretty much the same. We got Tactics.org, the Knight of Lotus. We talked about the game. It was on one of the covers, I believe, of those magazines. Game Boy Advance Tactics game. And let's see, did people like this game? Yeah, 88 on Metacritic. It got.
I think I gave it a try on the emulators because people were, highly praising it, talking about like the old Tactics Ogre games being really good or whatever. Yeah, and I was like, this is okay.
Oh, why is it only okay, Daniel?
Because it's not Advanced Wars, Dominic.
No, okay. It's not cutesy. It's not cutesy
exactly. It's not cutesy real military
and tanks
stuff.
And just shooting at each other.
You got dragons floating around. It's not cool.
All right. We also got the Britney's Dance Beat on the PlayStation 2 came out 20 years ago. Look at that. Look at Britney. Yes, this is when she was somewhat free-ish. She was somewhat free-ish at this time. Yeah, they got the great songs up here like Baby One More Time, of course.
Of course.
Oops, I Did It Again.
Yeah.
Stronger.
Yeah.
Sure. Overprotected. And I'm a Slave for You.
Oh, yeah.
I am so bad I know these songs. I feel like I should only know 2 of them.
I was thinking it would have been earlier than like I'm a Slave for You, Britney, but.
Yeah. But yeah, this, what did Metacritic give it? They gave it a 63 out of 100 on PS2. There's also a Game Boy Advance version, which got a 53 out of 100, and the PC version, which got a 24 out of 100. Damn. Why the PC version get so low?
Because they found out you could put mods in it, and they were like, we can't have our children look at this. This is awful.
All right, and we got a little bit of news, like Retro Studios, 20 years ago this week, becomes a fully owned subsidiary of Nintendo, as Nintendo buys the remaining shares of the company from former owner Jeff Spangenberg, making Retro a first-party edition. Yep. He sold out. Jeff sold out.
Presumably, they're still working on Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah,
since taking it over.
Also, Titus Interactive, or Titus, as the Japanese would say it, because that's the name in that
Final Fantasy dominant.
Yeah. Titus Interactive announces the sale of Shiny Entertainment, a studio Interplay to Infro Games for $47 million. This studio holds the Mix franchise, and I don't think that's working out really for them, that Matrix franchise. It sounded good at the time, though. I mean, it was good at the time. I mean, Matrix, the new Matrix was coming out the following year. Because it's 2002. Yeah, Matrix movie was coming out the following year, and the game was. All right. So now we go back. I got something for 1992, 30 years ago. Namco Bandai Partners. Well, this is what Namco Bandai Partners was named back 30 years ago. They became a Sega Ozy Soft, whatever. But this is like before they became Bandai like Australia or something like that. Eventually.
Oh, it is. So it is an Australian thing.
Yeah.
Because I saw Aussie and I was like, Aussie.
Because well, first they were Aussie Soft, and then they were, I think Sega got them, and they became Sega Aussie Soft, and then eventually I think Bandai or Namco, whatever, I don't know if they were together at the time. Somebody bought them, because they had different iterations over the years until they became Namco Bandai Australia.
Gotcha.
Which I don't even know what they do. Australia. I mean, I think they probably just help on games. I don't know.
Dynasty Warriors games.
What'd you say?
So they just make Dynasty Warriors games.
No,
right?
Dynasty Warriors.
That's
Koei Tecmo.
What does Bandai Namco make? They make
Power Rangers,
Gundam games.
Yeah, Gundam, Power Rangers. What is it? The Dragon Ball Z. All those Shonen games.
That's true. Shonen Jump.
Yeah, yeah. All right. And also, okay, I'm not going to say this one. This is the one I say I'm not going to say because I don't really know. All right. So that's it for the flashback segment. So I guess we'll take a quick break. We'll get back. We'll get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. And now we're going to get to the gaming news. So what we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. I know we don't talk about phone games often, but I thought I had to bring this one up once I saw some of the characters involved.
Let's just talk about more often. Let's be the mobile game podcast, even though I know there's probably thousands of them. But we can be the 1,001 of them.
There you go. All right, so coming to Apple Arcade this month, there's no firm date yet, but Warped Kart Racers, which basically seems like it's like the Fox properties as far as cartoons go in kart racing form.
Yeah, I saw King of the Hill up there.
Yeah, that's the one that made me go, we should talk about this, because it's got American Dad, Solar Opposites, which is like that newer show.
Yeah.
Family Guy, and King of the Hill. Yeah, so you got like 5 characters from King of the Hill.
No American Dad? I said American Dad. No Bob's Burgers?
No Bob's Burgers, surprisingly.
And that movie's coming out.
I don't know if that's like owned by a different thing or what. Yeah. How'd you like that trailer for the movie?
Oh, I just saw the TV trailer.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it don't show much. I didn't watch the. I got it. Yeah, I kind of want to see the trailer just to see what it is. I doubt if I go to the movies and see it. I'll most likely would just wait.
I just like I guess maybe like HBO, because like where would that come in Hulu, streaming form? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I always forget about Hulu.
Or Disney. I mean, I guess Disney could put it in with the that Marvel rated R stuff. Is
it the same?
It's not even rated R. It's PG-13.
Right?
So it's not even like that adult. It's adult, but it's not. It's like teenage.
Yeah, but what's her name's going to talk about butts? So, can't do that on. Can't do that on Disney. Man. It's just not cool. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. I wonder if this ends up being good. The Apple Arcade stuff feels more vetted than just like random phone games. I could see it being decent.
Or Switch games.
I just wonder if this ends up coming, to like a Switch eventually.
Oh, I mean, like I was saying, they're more vetted than Switch games. That's
than the Switch games. Honestly, yeah, pretty much. Or any of the consoles, really.
Yeah,
because you get so much trash on their stores. But I think, the Apple Arcade stuff is separate from just the App Store, because obviously you have trash on the App Store too. But the one thing you don't have on there, though, Dominic, I guess I could actually use that as a transition, is Fortnite. But now you can play it again on your phone because Microsoft is like, we got cloud streaming. and you can just play it that way now. So sucks to be you, Apple.
Which is funny how we was talking about how Epic could do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're partnering up with Microsoft to use the Xbox Cloud stuff to let people do that. So that's, I mean, again, giving people choice. I think this is a consumer-friendly news story, even if it's, you know, two big conglomerations who are having a pissing match or whatever. But if people want to play Fortnite on their phones, I'm glad that people have the option to play Fortnite again on their phones. And I hope through that Xbox Cloud streaming stuff, I think you and I have both had pretty positive results on that. So I hope the people that use it for Fortnite also.
Thing is, like, how long is Fortnite going to be up there? Is it like one of those timed games? Because then it's going to be like people on Apple phones like, yes, I'm playing it, and then it's going to go away. Like, no.
I feel like if there's a deal in place between Microsoft and Epic, unless Epic has plans to make their own sort of streaming technology to get it working in the same, you know, roundabout way, you know, you make this partnership to last.
Yeah, exactly. And why can't you just go to the browser, Xbox, the browser on the Apple Store and just play Fortnite there?
Yeah. Yep. That's how you do it. Basically the same way as you would on a home browser.
And there was no ever a home browser you could just play Fortnite.
No, surprisingly not. You know.
Yeah, because I think we talked about that. It sounded like why Epic just didn't do that, and then people can just play their game.
Because I wonder now if this also means that like Chromebooks, like all those kids' Chromebooks that they get from school, or kids just playing Fortnite on those things now because they can stream it.
Oh, definitely.
Gosh,
I know I would.
The world seems like how do you teach kids in this day and age, Dominic? Like outside of putting Martin Luther King inside Fortnite. Yeah. Even without like school provided resources though, like what is the percentage of kids, you know, no matter their demographic or where they might be, that have phones in some sort of way that they just
I'm sure they got phones.
And look at it all day. Like how do you teach children nowadays, Dominic? Like I just don't.
Well, I think you just tell them no. Just like they did with my Game Boy. Then when I took it up.
Yes. Like how many phones can teachers take? I mean, but like isn't that a pushback, right? Like where like Game Boy is like, yeah, you can't have a Game Boy.
Oh yeah, but not everybody's gonna have a Game Boy.
But phones, it's like if my mom needs to get a hold of me, she's gonna be mad at you if you take my phone.
Which is weird because it's like, how did our parents get a hold of us back in the day? Like,
called the school.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you got called over the intercom and you had to go down to the office and talk to them.
It's easy to find a school number. You can't even say like, I can't find a school number. You can just look it up on its own internet. It's just like, the schools don't have landlines anymore?
And I got to text my kid. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. No, they definitely have to. But yeah, that's one of those things, right? Like honestly, I don't know. Should we limit kids' abilities to have a phone on school property? Like, should they have to turn them in when they come in every morning?
According to my dad,
like
yes. I mean, I know how he always talked about phones back in the day. Yeah, I would be like, if
put them in those like Dave Chappelle bags.
Yeah, I bet he would be the ones that say you can't get a phone until blah 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 age or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like we're making teachers' jobs extremely hard by allowing our children to have
those teachers
phones.
They need to watch our kids and babysit them. That's what they are, Daniel.
I mean, it feels like progressively more that's what's happening, because if you're just giving them a phone, it's like if they're not paying attention in school, then isn't that what the teacher's doing? Is like, nah, I can't teach these kids. I'm just going to sit here and watch them play on their phone. Maybe they'll send me some funny memes. Maybe they'll create some funny memes.
Well, if you're in like a city school, you're probably good because a lot of parents, not that they don't care, it's just you look at the PTA meetings. That's a PTA. Yeah. Like it's so very small compared to like a private school or something. Because I remember like going, like I was in a private school, well, Catholic school, seeing a lot of people there. I remember like even for students who did well. And I was like, right. I mean, technically my parents went because they went there. It was the first time I've been there, so they wanted to know what I was doing. Then taking my parents to when I went to a public school, I was like, man, these hallways are empty compared to like that private school. Is like I don't like usually have chairs like you wait outside because you gotta wait for your turn to get into class. Man, I ain't had to wait that long. It probably maybe might be one parent in there or be nobody in there. It's like, darn, I went through this pretty fast. It's gonna be like an hour, 20 minutes or something like that. We finished that day.
And some of that's just a result of, there being the parents in a private school have more flexibility in their schedule to either leave work or work from home or whatever.
Oh, definitely.
Or they have a 9 to 5 job.
I mean, well, people should understand. Like, that's just what it is. Because some people they probably work at night too. They probably get a right schedule, or the jobs they do is just probably just so fucking strenuous and shit. And they got like, oh fuck, I go here. Then I mean, it's hard. Hey, or you got kids at home you gotta watch or something. You don't have the either two parent, or you got two parent, but just that maybe the other parent has to work at night. Who knows? So it's just it's just things happen.
Yep, it's rough.
All right, so where were we at? We finished talking about that, and AEW.
Yeah. So we got some more news on the AEW game. There's previously been a trailer out that showed off a couple of characters like Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho.
I missed those, but I've seen these new characters. I didn't even know they did one before.
Those old ones were a lot more cartoony, almost like Legends of Wrestling-esque character models. Big, like, upper bodies and smaller legs kind of thing. I'm glad they're going in a not quite realistic way, but a more like proportional kind of thing. But that's kind of all they've shown off so far. There are rumors going around that it's coming out in September of this year, or at least they're projecting to release in September. But the limited amount of stuff that we've seen makes me think that they are not far enough into the production of this game for it to release in September.
Yeah, September. You would think you'd see a full trailer by now.
Yeah, full trailer, some gameplay, because we definitely have not seen actual gameplay
you see
that
some
I'm
type
aware
of gameplay.
of. Yeah, we've seen they show off some in-ring stuff, but it's not this is what it'll look like when you play it. But the big news this past week is we got a name for it. It's going to be AEW Fight Forever. And they showed off two new characters, Chris Statlander and Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose being the second women's champion. So they look good, but it's kind of funny that they show off Chris Statlander because in the grand tradition of wrestling video games, it's already out of date because she's already kind of transitioned into a new gimmick where she's got darker hair and is kind of a more darker character. So it's like, that's fun. But yeah, I still have a lot of hope that this game ends up being, kind of a spiritual successor to No Mercy. They keep talking that aspect of it up, but until I actually get my hands on it and feel what it's like, I don't know if I'm willing to say that, because even those GameCube games like WrestleMania, I think 19 or whatever it was, were supposed to be or were billed as kind of the evolution of the No Mercy engine, the spiritual successor to that. And while they were closer to what I wanted than like a SmackDown or what the 2K games ended up being, or even like the Xbox exclusive Raw, it still wasn't exactly what I was hoping it would be. So we will see. I know a lot of like Kenny Omega is a big video game player and has a lot of nostalgia for those games, and he's participating a lot in working on these games. So I'm hoping with that input from a lot of the wrestlers on that roster, you get something more traditional to one of those games. But yeah, I'm interested, especially because I guess the kind of other big thing that went around is that there's going to be 50 or so people on the roster, and right now their roster is like over 120 or something like that. So there are going to be some notable missing people, because even if I just rattled off the top 50 people I could think of, it's going to leave off some names. But the nice thing is, I'm sure they're going to have some sort of creator wrestler stuff. And they've also announced that there's going to be a PC version of that. So I could see mods making up for that in some form or fashion also. So that could be exciting. Because I'm guessing, some of the newer guys, Keith Lee maybe, or a Swerve, if those are the ones that get left off, I think they've confirmed that Bryan Danielson will be in there. I feel like you have to have CM Punk. He debuted before Bryan Danielson, so he should be in there. I think Sting's been confirmed too. But like a Jeff Hardy,
that'd be great,
yeah. But Jeff Hardy is pretty new,
and they're gonna make him like young
AEW
Sting,
roster.
right? Not the old Sting.
I feel like you got to give both. Although, like, the way they've been having Sting show off in AEW lately, just like doing insane spots of jumping off balconies and stuff like that, I feel like you put him in the game and you make him like monster old guy Sting. Like, he's like overpowered, but not, gameplay wise, but you just Sting, make him look like a beast.
Was he in the 2K games when he was in WWE for briefly?
I think there is at least one game. Yes, there's absolutely at least one game where he was in there, because he was a part of the commercials the year that he debuted. It was like him and Seth Rollins or something like that. So he's definitely in at least one of those games, maybe two of them. So we'll see how that game turns out. Hopefully it turns out better than what we had seen of Prince of Persia and the Sands of Time remake. Apparently Ubisoft has kind of changed directions there and moved development of that game to Ubisoft Montreal, which is the original studio that made those games. They kind of pulled that out of nowhere. People were excited that, they were remaking that game, but that trailer that they showed off originally just did not display that they were taking it seriously. And it seemed like, by using I think it was the studio in India, that maybe they were trying to cheap out on it. And it's unfortunate. It seemed like they just weren't putting the money into it that would be needed to create a proper remaster or remake. I hate to make it sound, I hate to say it that way, but that's kind of what it feels like, and it's not even necessarily the region or whatever, but it was definitely like the size of the studio, right? Like, that was a much smaller studio, and they were like, well, we'll just give it to them, let them, take care of it on the cheap. And as it turns out, that did not work out very well for them, because now they had to like restart development elsewhere, because what they were doing was just not to the quality of that game. It was a great game, and I feel like it deserved a little more than they were trying to give it. And hopefully with this move, they're taking it a little more seriously, and they realize, people aren't down for that bullshit.
What's the timetable? Did they have a timetable when this game coming out?
No, they didn't mention that. At this point, it's definitely at the very earliest 2023, holiday season, I would say. But if that's the case, I'm thinking 2024 early in the year, because that seems to be where Ubisoft sticks that kind of stuff.
Darn, man, just make a new game.
Pretty much. I don't know. There are aspects of it where I think, a lot of these studios will make these remasters as kind of safe bets, where it's like, people love that old game, they'll buy this new game, where they wouldn't necessarily buy a Prince of Persia unknown name, and that gets you an engine up and running on this new hardware that you can then iterate on for a new game. But
I think it's more of that. I wish they didn't announce it so early then.
Yeah, well, the problem is, I think they were that game was supposed to have released by now.
Oh yeah, well, not early, but I think the announcement now and making it like it's going to be quite a while till it comes out that
Yeah.
it's not the same. It's not the same like you announcing it was about to come out and say, okay, that's something.
Yeah, I mean, they just absolutely messed it up by delivering an underwhelming product, basically, you know?
Yeah.
Because if they had shown that thing off and then within, 12 months released it, like I think it was originally, because what did we see that in 2020 and then it was supposed to release in 2021, or was it 2021 to 2022?
I thought it was last year.
That's what I thought. Let me see. They should just remake Prince Persia 2008. Everybody loved that game, Dominic. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find it, but it feels like it was a while ago, but everything feels like a while ago and also just yesterday somehow. So
yeah.
Time is very screwed up right now. All right, moving on, Dominic. We got some good news for Sonic. Sonic 2 is currently the highest grossing video game movie of all time in the United States, having made $150 million. So,
good for them.
Sounds like it's pretty good. So good for them.
Yeah, my friend saw it. He said he liked it. It was pretty good.
Yeah. Good.
So I know that it's horrible. So I was joking. I'll be out. Like I said, I'll see it when it's available for us to see at home.
To stream, yeah. Same. Yeah. But I'm good for them. I mean, when you look at the pool of video game movies, I don't think this is been a great pool. Mind blowing.
Yes, it's been
sure.
Pretty good games movie games out there.
Yeah.
Like Tomb Raider 2 was better. And
although I do find it kind of funny that, in the same year that the Uncharted movie came out with big names like Tom Holland.
I forgot about that movie.
Exactly. Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg.
That beat that out there.
Yep. And that's coming. Yeah, I mean, they're both coming from big studios, but Uncharted you would think would have more money behind it, So
yeah,
just thought that was funny.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think stars don't drive the movies anymore, really.
Yeah.
I mean, look at
look at the Sonic as a star.
Some of the Marvel movies, man. Some of those guys ain't huge stars.
No.
At least, I mean, come on, Tom. I think the name really just pushes it.
Yeah, Tom Holland was nothing
but he was Spider-Man, so Spider-Man pushed it, but still, like you said, but see, when Tobey Maguire, I mean, he wasn't huge, but you seen him before. And the other guy, people always used to say, that's the Facebook guy or something like that. He was on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, Andrew Garfield. Yeah.
But so it's, I think it's different. It's not like the days of when, like Will Smith would be in a movie, he would automatically say, this movie's going to make $100 million. Like, that's not a guarantee, really, with anybody anymore.
No, now it's got to be like a TikTok star. If they're in a movie, big news.
Well, for me, I don't know none of those people.
No. All right, Dominic. Next up, we got there's a report out of VentureBeat saying that Microsoft is going to be launching a streaming device like a Fire Stick or Roku TV kind of thing, streaming exclusive device for Xbox games within the next 12 months. And they're also working on a Samsung TV app, which I think we had heard news of that kind of stuff before. Like, it makes sense to get that stuff packed into a TV to try and persuade people to do that. But honestly, in a lot of ways, it makes more sense to me to have that streaming device, because then you pack in a controller and sell it. I don't know. You can probably get away with selling it for $100 because the controllers are like $60 anyway. So if you can bring it down lower, obviously it would be better, because the intention here is to lock people into Game Pass, right? Just like a Netflix or HBO Max, whatever streaming service, except you're also trying to sell the hardware to get them locked in. So you get a little extra on the top. It would be like if, Netflix was trying to sell you a little device that it could only play, almost like Amazon with their Fire Stick devices.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've talked about it in the past. Like, honestly, I was shocked that the Series S didn't end up being that. Just an extremely cheap way of getting these services into people's homes so they could pay for the service aspect of it. Microsoft's not necessarily looking to make money on the hardware. And if you have the ability to stream basically every game on your service, then there's not really much you're missing out on there. Obviously, again, we talk about it all the time, but that's dictated by what kind of internet speeds you have and the quality of internet that you're able to get. You might not be able to get something high speed in the middle of the country where there's a whole bunch of mountains or something. And that's unfortunate. That's when you have to stick to more traditional means of playing games. But for us, where we're on the East Coast and we've got pretty reliable access to decent internet, even if there's not necessarily competition and you pay a decent amount, it's still available there. But that seems like the future, honestly. I don't know about from a consumer standpoint, because obviously, we've talked about, some of these games getting delisted and stuff like that. And that is obviously the downside to an all digital future. But from a business standpoint, I don't see why Microsoft would not be pushing to go in that direction, where they don't need to produce hardware that costs them hundreds of dollars when they could produce something that's $20 for them and $40 to $60 for us.
Yeah. And so in the problems of, like COVID had, that'll be a little less problematic because you won't need production, of consoles to get in people's hands.
Yep. They'll be just streaming their video games on their work laptops that they got for remote work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really this is only for the people who are very, who really are I would say graphic cores, but just want the best experience they can have.
Yeah. The people that are still buying Blu-rays.
Yeah.
Over just streaming a thing off the internet.
Exactly. Those are the people who really are just not, this doesn't really matter to them. Well, it only matters if it negates them from getting the best, of the game that they want because of streaming. Because 4K streaming, I don't know how well it is. I don't know how well it is for movies. Mm-hmm. Even though I see this streams in 4K. I have no idea because I got a 4K TV, but it's not a great one. So, right. And I actually prefer my 4K TV. It looks a little too dark for me, for me personally. So I would rather see it just in regular HD sometimes, but most of the time. Yeah. But for games, I don't know. I don't think. I don't know when they're going to get to a point where games are streamed in 4K.
Yeah. It definitely seems like it would, take some more technology before we get to that point. Because the higher the resolution, the more input lag you would probably end up seeing because of how much data is going through that pipe. So, yeah. I know as far as streaming versus Blu-rays, people always talk about how high the bit rate is on Blu-rays compared to streaming. So there's a quality level there that is currently unsurpassed by the streaming services.
Oh yeah, I've been watching this guy play the Call of Duty Warzone. Now, so I don't know, is it supposed to be something happening in the background with Godzilla and King Kong?
Honestly, you know what? I don't remember what. Well, I don't. It's not that I don't remember. I don't know that when we talked about it last time, they had actually said what
it is. So far,
what that was going to be.
What I see is that he has a Godzilla outfit on.
Okay.
And he has a Godzilla gun.
I mean, it looks a Godzilla gun.
Yeah, it's real scaly, and it got the blue kind of outline, the way he's about to shoot the fire. And the outfit, looks like what's it called? Where those people wear you're trying to camouflage. They a
ghillie suit.
A ghillie suit, yeah, it's a ghillie suit Godzilla outfit.
Okay.
It looks all right.
I see it here.
And the gun.
And there's also the King Kong one I'm seeing there.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. But
yeah, I just ended up going to their website to
okay.
see if they had more details about like what you actually.
Yeah, but it's not what I thought. At least like you see something in the background, like Godzilla, King Kong fighting or something.
Yeah. It's honestly kind of disappointing that this seems like what it is, because,
it's nothing.
Prepare to represent the MonsterVerse most powerful titans during Operation Monarch with King Kong, Godzilla, and Mechagodzilla bundles. Available in season for a limited time.
It seems weird, like they got this. Like what? The movie came out a while ago. Like it seemed like that would be the time to do something like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, wait a second. The introduction of Operation Monarch is touted to be a huge game event for the gaming franchise, scheduled to kick off May 11th. So the actual Operation Monarch stuff doesn't start until next Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Or this coming Wednesday, rather. And that's when hopefully there'll be some cool stuff. So, okay, they're just getting their freaking packs out there to get people to spend money to look like Godzilla and King Kong beforehand. Thanks to the Nashville Chatter for that information. It's so funny seeing like small town papers seemingly reporting on video game stuff.
Ain't nothing else going on in town,
I guess. All right, Dominic. And then the big news I got this week. We've got another acquisition. This time, Square Enix has sold Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, and Square Enix Montreal.
And that's all
the
their
Embracer
Western
Group.
properties, basically, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's going to give them... I mean, I don't know.
What are you about to say?
It's just... We've talked about it in the past, but like Square Enix is... placing the blame on the Western studios every time, like setting seemingly way too high expectations for them, and then always talking about how they're disappointed in the sales and not meeting expectations. Meanwhile, most of these games are like extremely critically acclaimed, still sold in the millions. Meanwhile, you have other games that they're putting out over there, that are coming out of Eastern
when they bought these
guess.
studios, they thought like we were going to get the GTA numbers out of these games.
I guess, I don't know, and it's just like I'm extremely happy by this sale. I mean, I honestly don't know what Embracer Group does. I know they've been picking up a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, they've definitely embraced. But if it's anything like, Microsoft, where we feel like at least we're going to start seeing some of these properties start to reemerge again, like Deus Ex, Thief. It's been a while since we've seen those properties used. What was that?
Soul Weaver.
I mean, yes, if that could be a possibility, friggin' absolutely. And it feels like maybe this is a company that will...
I think somebody mentioned Gex may come back.
Gex, sure. Why not? Yeah. They didn't
do like a joke about
Square
Will
Enix
Smith's
didn't
slap
keep
now
that
in his games. That's
boy. They totally would do, wouldn't they? Yeah, Square Enix is keeping the rights to Just Cause, Outriders, and Life is Strange, though. So they're holding on to some of those more Western skewed properties, I guess. But yeah, I'm hoping that Embracer is a company that can look at the successes of these studios and take them as such instead of, whatever Square Enix was seemingly doing there, because it never seemed like a good fit for Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when they bought it. I said, okay, the Square Enix trying to get into the Western property stuff. I said, okay, that's cool. But yeah, but like you said, after they start saying how disappointing sales, I think the Tomb Raider was probably one of the first things they said.
Yeah.
The disappointing sales, and the people showed the numbers. I was like, darn, what they want this thing to sell?
Yeah, and you have to remember that first Tomb Raider game was also Xbox exclusive, right? So it had a smaller.
No. That was that's the second one.
Oh, the second one was
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one wasn't. The first one was on everything because I played it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was on everything.
Oh yeah, because wasn't it part of like PlayStation Games for Gold or Games for Gold PlayStation Plus at some point?
It probably was. I mean, yeah, I think eventually all of them end up being part of it. Or every last game.
They've been free on everything, including PC. Okay, that's what it was. I forgot that.
And then, and then that didn't even make even less sense. It was like, why'd you make a deal where you went exclusive? I mean, I would think the money that you paid, that they paid you,
exactly the money that Microsoft theoretically paid you to make it exclusive should have made up for whatever disappointments you thought you might have had there. But yeah, it just always felt poorly managed, And they talked about wasn't it People Can Fly, or was it People Can Fly made Outriders? Didn't they also make something else for them where they were like, yeah, we don't know how much money this game made. We don't know, we don't know a whole bunch about this stuff that was tied to like our bonuses that we didn't see because they told us the sales were disappointing. Meanwhile, like the numbers that we're seeing elsewhere seem like we should have gotten those bonuses,
Yeah, I'm trying to compare sales. As Kingdom Hearts sold 6.7 million as of April 11th of this year.
Sure.
And that sounds like a good number.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider, let's see. I mean, it's been out longer. Well, Tomb Raider made 3.3 billion worldwide on March 2013, and the game was released on March 2013. I mean, yeah. It says the game sold 1 million copies less than 48 hours after it's released.
Wow. So you're saying 6 million for Kingdom Hearts?
Square Enix sold that game. Said the game sold 3.4 million copies within that month.
And Kingdom Hearts only did 6 then?
Yeah.
That seems.
And then it says April 2015, weird. Gallagher announced the sales had reached 8.5 billion for Tomb Raider.
In what year you said?
2015. That's 2 years.
2015. I was going to say 2 years, which is a little shorter than Kingdom Hearts, right?
Yeah, a little. No, that's more. That's more than Kingdom Hearts. So Kingdom Hearts came out. When did Kingdom Hearts come out? And
2020, 2019.
Let me see. Because let me see.
2019 January.
All right. And it's 6 billion now. 6.7 million now.
So Tomb Raider sold more than Kingdom Hearts?
But I guess it was maybe more money went to Tomb Raider then. Maybe a whole lot more money went
that would be shocking to me.
Me too.
I feel like.
Because Kingdom Hearts took forever.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, you've got Disney mixed in there. I feel like they got to they got to wet their beak. They got to pay for that licensing. I don't know. That seems mighty suspicious to me.
And that is this is the best selling game in the series. 3.
Huh.
The worst one. Sorry, not the worst. The worst out of the main 3, I should say.
Could that not be including like Kingdom Hearts 3 Final Mix or whatever? Like Game of the Year style edition.
I thought they were including that. Weren't they including that? And we were saying that wasn't fair at some point at one of those games.
I'm not sure.
In one of those past games, I think we said that. I don't think it was this one though. It wasn't this one.
Because that's just, if that's the case, then that's absolutely insane to me. That they were shit talking, Tomb Raider, and meanwhile it's selling better than what seemingly would be their biggest franchise currently outside, Final Fantasy, but it's been remake. A while since they've released. Oh yeah, I guess Final Fantasy Remake.
Let me see what the Final Fantasy Remake made. 5 million. There are 5 million now. And that came out.
Came out in 2020.
2 years ago, right?
Yeah. So that's I don't like any of that, Dominic. Because that game costs more than Tomb Raider.
Now, you can say with Final Fantasy, though, they made $5 billion, but they were only on PlayStation 4 and PC.
Right. That's true.
There was no Xbox included. But still, you're talking about, I mean, how much that game cost to make, too, also. How much was behind the advertising game and all that stuff. I mean, I'm sure Tomb Raider was a lot because that was the first one. They put a lot of stuff behind it. But god darn, I feel like the sales numbers, I mean, I feel like it. What did you expect? What did you expect from this game? Did you really thought this was going to be a
$20 million?
Like 30 million in sales or something? You thought it was going to be like a Pokemon or something like that? Or
Grand Theft Auto,
or Zelda game, or it's like Nintendo, one of the popular Nintendo Switch games.
Yeah, like that seems. I don't know. I'm just hoping they get better managed by Embracer and are given more of an opportunity. Yeah, I'm glad. I am glad by this sale, at least initially. We'll see what Embracer actually does with them, and it's also nice that we're seeing this go to a company that is a third party. We're not having to worry about, now these games are going to be exclusive to the Xbox or the PlayStation. They should be available everywhere. Maybe even Embracer Group will continue Square Enix's relationship with Game Pass, where we've seen, Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers show up on Game Pass eventually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting. I know some people were going in the direction of, this is kind of Square, lightening their load a little bit, cleaning up their books, leading to the possibility of someone picking them up. Obviously, the first answer there would be Sony. In a lot of cases, people would speculate. I could see it. I don't know where we are as far as there's talk now of the Bungie sale being checked out by the FTC, in the same kind of way that the Activision sale is, which is kind of laughable because Bungie is nowhere near as big as Activision. That's not the same level of move. But if our government is, concerned about the consolidation of gaming companies, it seems laughable when you look at, Disney /Fox /Marvel /Pixar. But that stuff will probably go through. But I wonder if it does kind of put things on pause, right? Could this have been Microsoft picking up these companies if it hadn't been for them kind of trying to be cautious about what they're doing after the announcement of the Activision sale? I mean, Crystal Dynamics is working with them on that Perfect Dark game. The company that is working on that Perfect Dark game is also formed by former Crystal Dynamics employees, so there's very much a tie there. So I wonder if that could have been. So yeah, it's interesting, Dominic. Before the end of the year, do you see more kind of big sales happening? I think there's also news out. Sorry to ask you a question and then continue talking, but there's also news out that Ubisoft is possibly discussing some private equity kind of stuff, so they are insulating themselves from possible sales.
Yeah. I think, well, I know we're under NDA, but there might be something happening with us
yes,
soon.
Getting picked up by Warner Media.
Yeah. Oh, well, now we're not, because you just fucking said it. Now.
Hey, look, I didn't sign the NDA personally. You took that rubber stamp that has my signature on it. That's only intended for video game requests, Dominic. It's not for binding legal documents. Come on now. Yeah. So,
all right.
I mean, that would be the biggest sale. Well, I guess I didn't mention it, but the sale of this was for $300 million. Like, we're talking about like Zynga was like $12 billion.
Yeah, this was cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
This was very cheap.
I mean, even if you don't consider the studios, I feel like
they just
the
beat me
Tomb
by
Raider,
like what 10 million. I was going for I had 290 million on there, but then they beat me. I said, "Damn it!"
Yep. If only we got that Warner Media money first,
Yeah.
and then we could have. Yeah, it just seems crazy. I mean, like Tomb Raider itself feels like a property that's worth $300 million.
Yeah, that's yeah. When I saw that, it's 300 million. I said, "Aaron, that's a steal." It's like,
So
they really want to get
for
rid
the
of them.
Embracer Group. They really do. I mean,
God.
clearly. So good. You know, let them get away from Square Enix. Let Square Enix continue to make money off Final Fantasy 14 or whatever that allows them to
Kingdom Hearts 4
continue
or
putting
wherever.
out.
You probably wouldn't call Kingdom Hearts 4. It'd probably call some subtitle.
Kingdom Hearts, the death by birth, 265 days of the year, over 2 nights in a fortnight or something.
All
right, Dominic.
Yeah, probably an announcement like another game, like before the Kingdom Hearts 4. So, oh, but we got this game coming out first.
The
Of course, it's
Final
going to be like a
Fantasy
phone game.
method.
It's going to be like a phone game.
Oh, yeah. Well, they've already got that one, so I don't know. Do they make another phone game?
Yeah. The sequel.
They make a Battle Royale phone game like they did with
sequel
Final
to
Fantasy
that,
that no
whatever
one's
it
talking
is.
about. All right, Dom. Did you see any other news you want to talk about?
Nah, I'm good.
All right. We got new releases, Dominic, and these two both appear on Game Pass. You have Citizen Sleeper. It's also out on PC, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series consoles. And then we mentioned it earlier, Trek to Yomi. That's out on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. I'm surprised that's not on Switch also, because that does not seem like a particularly demanding game. It's a game that the art style kind of carries it, but then when they zoom into those character models, they don't look particularly great. So you could definitely see that showing up on the Switch at some point. Yeah, so that's what we got for new releases.
I got some releases too for big games.
Do we have them?
But you know what? This time, I'm not going to just say the titles. I'm going to read actually some of the descriptions because I think that's funny.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay. So there's one game called Perseverance. I like the picture they use
About
up
the
here.
struggle.
It makes me think that at first I was thinking like, oh, this must be a gay porn game because I see 2 men in jail, but it's
Okay.
not. Here's the story. I think actually maybe you play as a woman. It says, "Be rich or poor, we all have our challenges for lack of status, lack of trust, building a new life from a dreadful past, or lack of compassion and love. How they survive these and other challenges determines how we can persevere through the life we are handed. How will these different lives intertwine, I guess, or will they? How will they handle these challenges? This will determine their perseverance." Man, that's a damn awful overview. This doesn't make me want to play this game.
No,
It actually
that's too generic.
I mean, yeah, it's generic, but it also makes it. I mean, if I was a guy who was looking for like a porn game, this ain't a
This
good
type
thing to
of
describe it. This is something probably I would like to play. I say, oh, this sounds interesting. Let's see what kind of challenges he's doing here.
Conversely, when you play it, it's going to just be like Pound Town.
Yeah, exactly. How you persevere through all these dicks coming at you. How you get through them. Yeah, it looks like we can play a woman in that game.
Okay.
Here we go. We got a game called Space Rescue Code Pink.
Oh no.
All right. Whoa, look at these things. Okay. It's very cartoony. It's very cartoony. Like it says in this game you play as Keen, a young mechanic that has landed his first job on a rescue and relax ship. Keen's task is simple: make repairs wherever needed. But every time Keen helps out one of his attractive crew members, he seems to end up in more and more dubious situations. While exploring the ship, you can gather items, build repair parts, and play various minigames. This will allow you to progress through the storylines. Let's say story lies, but it's supposed to be lines. And get you the girl. Okay, maybe it's like a comedy. It seems like it could be a comedy kind of thing here. Yeah, look at this. The plant needs love. Look at Sophie. She's thick. What else we got here? Chapter 2 is out. And timestamps is... God, that lady's boobies is really saggy. All right, here we go. The second chapter of the game, you're a college student whose lustful desires have caused you to make horrible mistakes, but lucky for you, your friends has found a way to manipulate time. You have the chance to go back and fix some of your mistakes. Will you correct the things in the past to make your life better, or will you make it worse? You can make new decisions, follow new paths, try to get everything you desire, or you just might continue to fuck things up. The only good thing is time is on your side. There are there are so many paths to follow. Will you help them make good decisions? The concept sounds nice, but I feel like one of some of these screenshots, good God, I mean, he just eating the hell out of that girl's ass.
Oh my God.
Where are we at here? What is it? The Villain Simulator. All right.
Hi.
Oh my goodness, they have a girl that looks like Felicia from Darkstalkers. Look. I think these are all just characters. I think that's Catwoman, maybe. I don't know.
Oh goodness.
And that looks like Tifa, from Final Fantasy. It said, "Did you ever watch the old Batman show where him and Robin were always about to die in a trap, and then in the next episode they managed to escape from a horrendous dead." Okay, like I guess this is foreign people writing this. Horrendous death. Well, no more. I always fantasize with the idea of the villain actually winning. This is about that with the sexual element added to it. Just doesn't look all that great. It's
just like a VR game though, Dominic. You gotta get in there.
Yes. You got a thing called Sexbot, and can't find a date for the prom? Then order Amazon's Alexa today. Or our newest version of Alexa is a super sexy humanoid robot ready to follow your every command. Amazon is not responsible for Alexa AI sentience or robo hostility. Follow user manual and set up to ensure obedience in your sexy robot companion, or don't and see what happens. Play through the science fiction game as a dateless nerd looking for love in all the wrong places. Program your new sex bot to follow your commands or think on her own. Just be careful. Emily doesn't find out what you're up to. Who's Emily? I guess that's your sister or something, or wife, girlfriend? Well, no, you're a sexist nerd, so it's got to be like it's probably your mom. It's probably your mom.
Yep.
With Alexa's...
Call her Emily.
Alexa's high-tech 3D bio printer, anything is possible, from new outfits to toys. Okay, I think I put that on my list there to check out. Let's see what else we got here. Of course, the MILF Odyssey. Yeah, I want to see. Yeah, I remember we talked about this. I want to see what this is. Yeah, it's the one that looks like Star Trek and stuff like that.
It's great.
Here we go. Space, man's final fantasy. These are the sexcapades of the USS Ecstasy. It's standing orders to explore uncharted territory, to seek out new sexual adventures, to boldly come where no one has come before. MILF Odyssey is inspired by several well-known sci-fi franchises we all grew up with. Ever wished you could be on the Enterprise? Step through the Stargate and give Hathor the hard fuck she deserves.
Why?
Oh, is that Hathor? I thought her name was Hart. Oh, I guess they can't say her real name. I don't know. Or maybe that's how you pronounce it. I thought it was an R, like with it. Or maybe you settle for harem of Cylons. Embark on the USS Ecstasy for an epic adventure to defend Star Command and explore the universe. Protect the Federation and uphold its values by join the newly created Mobile Interstellar Liaison Force, otherwise known as MILT. Help Captain Kateway, like
Janeway.
Grow her crew and fix up her ship. And if you're lucky, you might end up becoming the first officer, a position that comes with many benefits. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That's another game to be on my list. Let's see here.
I'm finally living out my Star Wars fantasy.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, man. And some of these games been working on forever, man. Like, I'll be seeing like 2018 they started because they be on like chapter 12. I was like, damn. Like, it's funny. Like, these people were probably like, you're like a teenager when you first started, and then you're in your like late 20s still playing like, oh, can't wait for the next episode. Let's say he's been working this game for like 10 years. All right. I think I'm done.
All right.
I gotta remember to write this,
week then,
write these games down. I want to download to test for science. It's for science.
It's for science. It's for content for the podcast, of course. All right. Thank you guys as always for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic's at DStalworth5. He'll have all his recommendations for those games on there, I'm sure. I'm at Regulus MB. Podcast is at Superpod, SUPAPOD. Superpod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version.
It's amazing how all these girls are just shaved. I mean, everybody's just like, not even like, they look like they all went to like got a Brazilian wax. I mean, God, come on. This ain't real.
It's laser, Dominic. Once they hit 18, they just laser everyone in the world in those video games. Are the dudes also?
Yeah.
They're
just lazy, Daniel. They don't want to do the hair.
Some tress effects.
Yeah. They don't want to do the freaking hair mount and shit up there. They don't want. That's too much work.
Just see it bouncing around like Aloy's hair in the horizon when she moves around. All right. So yeah, there's a video version of this podcast. Hopefully not containing any of this content.
No.
And of course, you can find us any place you can find podcasts, including iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify. And until next time, guys, we'll talk to you later.
All right, see ya.